Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. We had a brilliant game today to discuss in the round 5 of Tata Steel 2023. Uh, Despite my busy schedule, I'm forced to record this video because we always heard about the legacy of Mir Sultan Khan, who was a Pakistani chess player who achieved the title of chess master. He was considered one of the strongest chess players in the world during the 1920s, late 20s and 30s. He won a British championship multiple times. He defeated many of the top players of his time, like Capablanca, Alexander Alekhine, and Ivan Bogojovo. Uh, we grew up as a chess player. Uh, uh, Learning and listening about his legacy. But if we, after the, say in 2020, 2100, say after 100 years when the chess history will be written, there will be many other Muslim players like Mohammad Yaro, Shehryar Mohammad Yaro, a chess grandmaster from Azerbaijan. He has achieved the title of grandmaster in 2003. He achieved many notable, winning the World Junior Chess Championship in 2003, winning the European Championship Individual Chess Championship in 2009, winning the FIDE Grand Prix in 2008 and 9-10, and he qualified for the candidate tournament of the World Chess Championship in 2012. He also won the World Rapid Chess Championship in 2017, and he achieved a peak rating of 2820, which ranked him as the world number 2 at that time in 2018, I think. Likewise, we have Ali Raza, who achieved the title of Grandmaster in 14 when he was 14 years old. He won the World Youth Chess Championship in the under 16 category in 2016. He won the World Junior Chess Championship in under 20 category. Uh, he won the Asian Junior Chess Championship in 17, 18, and 19. He also won the Asian Blitz Chess Championship in 18, and he achieved a peak rating of above 800, 2800, when he was 18, 19 years old. The fate just achieved by Magnus Carlsen, and he is one of the world-class chess player right now, and many believe that he will be the next world champion. But today we have Abdusattorov Nodirbek from Uzbekistan. He achieved the Grandmaster title in 2013 at the age of just 13 years. Uh, he won the World Youth Championship in under 8 category in 2008. He won the World Junior Chess Championship in under 20 category in 2019. He won the Asian Junior Chess Championship in 2014, 15, 16, and 17. He won the World Junior Rapid Chess Championship in 19, and he was also the World Rapid Champion just few months back when Magnus regained the World Rapid title. And the brilliant performance by him along with his Uzbekistan team in the previous Chennai Chess Olympiad, where he beaten the Indian top prodigy Gugesh and secure the top spot in the Olympiad, mainly because of his performance. So today uh, we heard so much about the l- new prodigies like Pragananda, uh, Nihal Sarin, uh, Kaimer, and many others. But what Nodirbek Abdusattorov is doing, what Ali Raza is doing is just magnificent. Not to mention there is also another player, Temur Rajabov, who is a brilliant blender and top super GM as well. So Magnus before this match lost to Anish Giri, and now he's playing white against Abdul Sattar Nodirbek, and from many years Magnus is if we exclude a match in the St. Louis Cup where he lost to Hans Niemann, but that match was very controversial. But otherwise, to play Magnus with black pieces is a big deal. And let's see, Abdul Sataro not only play and won this match, uh, but he just outclassed Magnus. It is very rare. You can beat Magnus, but you cannot outclass Magnus in all phases of the chess. So let's see how the game proceeded. Magnus played c4. He replied with c5. c5 is a English symmetrical variation. And what is the logic behind this move? The logic is that Magnus just lost to Anish Giri in the previous round. So psychologically, it is very obvious that Magnus will be playing for a win with white pieces, and he will be aiming to achieve the win in any cost. So to play a symmetrical variation, which is very much symmetrical, and white can not achieve a big advantage out of the opening, is a psychological battle from Abdul Sataro. A brilliant choice as per situation of the tournament. Magnus replied with knight f3, he played knight f6, and Magnus played knight c3, and he replied with knight to c6. Now there are many games with g3 move. There are many games with d4 moves. These two are the main moves. But there are some games with e4. But the three main moves in these positions are g3, d4, and e3. So there are a few other moves like e4. There is a few games with knight d5. Uh, but in this game, Magnus opted for e3, and Abdul Sataro replied once again a brilliant reply, not letting white to get anything out of the opening e5, controlling the d4 square. Uh, Magnus previously played uh, d4. He also played previously the bishop e2 line. So Magnus has experience in these lines, but these lines are not easy to get advantage. So Magnus here played bishop to e2, and Abdul Sataro was not afraid of playing d5 immediately, and Magnus took, and he took with the knight, and Magnus castled. Magnus previously played this line against MVL uh, Visher Maxime Legrave in 2017. He also played this line with Grischuk. So here Magnus the black replied with bishop to e7, and Magnus played bishop to b5, and pressurizing the e5 pawn due to the spin. So black has to respond, and the main respond in this position is uh, knight takes c3, and this time Magnus played with b take. Magnus previously played a game with D takes c3 against Maxime, but today he played this move, and Abdusattorov replied with queen 2, c7, protecting this pawn as well. So Magnus immediately played d4, and after takes, and Magnus take with the knight, uh, Abdusattorov played bishop to d7, uh, neutralizing the pressure over the c6 square. Magnus surprisingly played this move, knight back to f3. Why he played this move is a big surprise for me, because you are not going to undevelop your developed pieces even in the opening stage, and you are not uh, you are supposed to complete your development, uh, and here a complicated and a good move is queen to c2, where this knight is pinned, so knight cannot exchange here because of the queen is loose. So after queen e2, if black replies with h6, bishop to a4, castle, bishop to b2, rook to f to d8, rook a to c1, and queen to a5, knight takes c6, bishop takes c6, bishop takes c3, pawn takes c6, queen to c3, pressurizing this point, and stopping black to take the a2 pawn. So after this takes, the position is equal, but black has three pawn islands, while white has two pawn islands. So white is slightly better, and that is the sort of position that Magnus suits the Magnus style. Magnus is a grinder in the end game, so he can take benefit of these two weaknesses. But Magnus surprisingly played this move, knight, sorry, knight back to f3, f3, and Abdusattorov was brilliant in every reply. He immediately attacked the rook, not castling, not opting for castle, but pressurizing this rook. And once again, you can play rook b1, and after bishop to f5, you can play e4, and black cannot take this pawn, and your pressure over this pawn and file, you are pressure this side. So why not to play this position? But Magnus opted to stop black from castling kingside, and he sacrificed the exchange for that. And this is not a easy way to play for white, because when you get material down, you have to play very active, and you have to do something immediately. Otherwise, if black stabilized, then the game is almost over. So Abdusattorov took the exchange, and Magnus replied with queen take f1, and Abdusattorov castle queenside. Now you have to take this king somehow. So Magnus correctly played rook to c1. But if you uh, compare this position, uh, here, if black castle here immediately, then white has this move, and after uh, queen a5, uh, you can white is in a much better position. You will protect this, and after takes. Now, because of the weakness around the black king, white is better in this position. But Abdusattorov didn't castle immediately. First, he took, not allowing Magnus to play bishop to d6, and now he castled. Now, white don't have this move, and this is a big deal. So Magnus played rook to c1, and Abdusattorov calmly moved the king away from the c file. Now Magnus took this pawn, and very surprising, very surprising, Magnus did not take this pawn. Sometime in chess, that is the problem when you are material down, that you start seeing ghost. So why not to take this pawn? Suppose you take this pawn, and now what? If Blake plays this move, you can reply with bishop here, and now after this move, queen to c2 takes. If Blake take this pawn and white move here, this move is useless because the white king is very much safe at this square, and because of these threats over the c file, it is not easy for black to attack the white. So at least you got two pawns for your one pawn because you lost this one, uh, for your sacrificed exchange. That was something that Magnus didn't opt it immediately because he thought maybe there is something, like I said, seeing ghost. Otherwise, we cannot explain this. Uh, what Magnus did is very surprising. Instead of taking the pawn, he moved the queen to b2. And now this queen from b2 is not attacking anything. Okay, so uh, now you will see that Abdusattorov is following the plan, and he is attacking over the g file. So Magnus played knight to e1. Once again, a very surprising move. Why not knight to d2? Because after knight to e1, the black will be exchanging a rook, and he will be having the rook, and your both rooks are gone. So the game will be much easy for black to play. But if you compare this with this one, you can now once again protect the g2 square with your bishop, but you are not allowing this rook exchange, and you are maintaining your pressure over the c file. That was, I think, very much necessary to avoid rook exchange, but Magnus played this move, and Abdusattorov simply exchanged a piece of rook, pair of rook, and now let's see. So here Magnus played bishop to e2, bishop to f1, and now the knight start moving towards your king. And what are you doing? Magnus played this move to stop knight from coming here, and Abdusattorov played a brilliant move. You can take my bishop with your knight, you cannot take with the king, but if you take with the knight, you are checkmate in two moves, unfortunately. So Magnus played queen to d4, uh, and after the rook move, he moved to h4, and after the bishop move, now he took this pawn. Why not 5 moves back? Why you moved your queen to b2, doing nothing, and why you didn't stop black from exchanging a pair of rook? And now after 5 moves, you took the h pawn, but it is very late. Here the black is exchanging the dark square bishop as well, so the bishop advantage is gone as well. There is no way to stop him from exchanging the bishop, so Magnus moved the bishop to b2, and Abdusattorov took the light square bishop and check Magnus, and he's forced back to g1, and now he moved the knight to c6. Magnus trying to somehow activate his pieces, and now he lost the a2 pawn as well. And after this, bishop to f6 and rook to d1, check. Magnus moved to h2, and now these pawns are moving. But Magnus has a pass pawn over the h file, and he should immediately start moving his own pawn, because soon it will get late. And what a brilliant, after check and f4 move, Nodirbek simply returned the exchange, but taking 2 pawns for that. So Magnus is forced to take with the bishop, because otherwise if you take with the pawn, he will take with check, and then you will lose your bishop as well. So he took the bishop, and now you lost both the pawns. Now Magnus is a pawn down in a queen endgame, where the opponent is having 2 pass pawn on the queen side, and you have a pass pawn on the king side, but the queen is brilliantly activated by Abdusattorov. This queen is in the middle of board, controlling everything on this board. So Magnus played h4, somehow trying to move his pass pawn, but this move a4. Magnus played queen to a2, attacking this pawn and stopping this pawn from moving. And Abdusattorov brilliantly activated his f pawn as well, f5, and after h5, Abdusattorov played queen to h8. Now what he's trying to give this pawn for this pawn, and then this pawn will be a pass pawn, and there is no counterplay left for the white. So if white exchange this pawn with this pawn, he can at maximum draw the game, but there is no chance for him to win. So Magnus, instead of protecting this pawn, he should have moved the queen to here. Again, a very surprising decision, because after this you can take this pawn, and uh, that is a draw position, because the black king is wide open. But Magnus, instead of this queen f7, he took the pawn, and Abdusattorov took it uh, with the queen That is a very difficult move to find. It is a draw. Wow. So Magnus played the human move king to g1, but a brilliant move. Protecting this pawn, attacking this pawn, stopping king uh, to go to the queen side, and paralyzing the white game. Here Magnus has to play this move because uh, this is a simple draw. Black cannot uh, uh, run, and after this check you can move your king to h2. Now black will play this move, and then queen to b5, and then after b6 queen to b2, and you are checking the black king from everywhere, and black cannot hide his king. And if he try to protect his king with his queen, then he will lose the pawn. But when you are calculating uh, in a position, it happens with me many times. Uh, you are in the flow of calculating that after this and this move, you are you can draw the game. But instead of giving this check after a lot of calculation, you played this move first, and now you allowed the black to play the b5, and now this check is not available with you. So this check is not available. He's attacking once again. You have to save your last pawn, and now b5 comes, and almost the game is over because the queen is centralized. The pawns are moving. Your king is wide open. He can get many tempos, and uh, he can exchange the queen with a check, and that will be a game over. So Magnus tried b4, and Abdusattorov played king to b7, and Magnus tried to exchange this pawn. He took, and now because your king is cut, uh, white doesn't have luxury to stop the black from queening, uh, and this is a simple win. Suppose in this position, if the white king is here at this h8 square, there are some drawing chances. Look at this. One other surprising move. After this move, why not you played this move? Just make the game slightly difficult for black. But it is still losing, but it was this one was very easy to win for black. Anyhow, a brilliant masterpiece by Abdusattorov, and he just converted, and he played the opening brilliantly. He was well prepared in the opening. He played the middle game brilliantly. He took the exchange and allowed Magnus to take g7 pawn, and Magnus did not took the h7 pawn, and then he activated his pieces, and when needed he sacrificed back the exchange and took two pawns, and then he played the end game brilliantly. So a masterpiece by Abdusattorov. Last year he beat Magnus in the World Rapid, This year, the first time he was facing Magnus in a classical master tournament, and he won. You know, Abdul Ali Raza is a brilliant player. I love his games. He played Magnus 6 times in classical chess, and he lost 4 games and draw 2 games. But Abdul Sataro, on his first game against the world champion of everything, he outclassed Magnus. What a brilliant display of game! I'm speechless. And we have so many prodigies, Indian prodigies, uh, other prodigies, but these two super grandmaster, Abdul Sataro and Ali Raza, they are well above everyone else, and we can see the world championship coming to this region, and that will be a brilliant feat. Still a long way to go. Thank you so much. Please like and subscribe.